Okay, let's be real. When you hear the name Nokia, what do you think of? Probably those old-school, indestructible brick phones, right? Well, get ready for a major plot twist. Because the company that's literally powering the entire AI revolution just dropped $1 billion on them. Yeah, this is a huge deal, and it signals a massive shift in where tech is headed. Let's get into it.
So, here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll cover the big announcement that just blew up the market. Then, we'll really dig into what this deal's all about. We'll look at the two companies involved because their stories are wild. After that, we'll see how this fits into Nvidia's massive shopping spree. And finally, the big one, what this all means for 6G and, well, for all of us.
All right, so picture this. It's October 28th, 2025. Just another day on the stock market. Everything's chugging along like normal. And then, bam, a piece of news drops out of nowhere and sends one particular stock absolutely rocketing.
And here you go. Look at that. Nokia stock shot up by 22% in one day. I mean, come on, a jump like that doesn't happen by accident. That's the market screaming that something absolutely huge just went down. So naturally, this was the question on everybody's lips. What just happened to Nokia? Seriously, how does a company most people associate with phones from 20 years ago suddenly have a day like this?
And here it is, the answer. The one and only AI juggernaut, Nvidia, announced it's snapping up $1 billion stake in Nokia. Now let's be clear, this isn't just some casual investment. This is a massive stamp of approval from pretty much the most important tech company on the planet right now.
Okay, so to really get why the market freaked out and sent the stock up 22%, we have to look beyond that big, flashy billion-dollar number. This deal, it's about way more than just cash. It's about a deep strategic partnership. So, what exactly is a strategic partnership? Think of it this way. It's when two companies realize, hey, you're good at X, I'm good at Y. If we team up, we can build something amazing that neither of us could do alone. It's not about a simple paycheck, it's a full-on collaboration. And this is what they're teaming up to do. First off, the big one, developing next-gen 6G tech. But here's the really juicy part. They're going to get Nokia's incredibly complex software to run directly on Nvidia's powerhouse chips. You see, Nvidia's chips are built for the kind of insane parallel processing that AI needs. So putting Nokia's networking smarts on that hardware, that unlocks a whole new level of speed and intelligence. They're also going to work together on networking for AI and even bake Nokia's tech right into future AI data centers. It's a total integration.
So how's this actually working? Well, Nokia is creating more than 166 million new shares just for Nvidia. And that $1 billion they get, they're not just sticking it in the bank. They're plowing it straight back into R&D to beef up their own AI game. Okay, to really get why this is such a game changer, you have to understand who these companies are now. Forget what you think you know, because both of them have gone through some pretty wild transformations.
Yeah, this slide really tells the whole story, doesn't it? On one hand, you've got Nokia. We all remember them for those indestructible phones. But today, they're a beast in the world of 5G and 6G infrastructure. They build the backbone of our wireless world. And then there's Nvidia. They got their start making graphics cards so we could all play better video games. Now, their chips are literally the engine driving the entire AI revolution. Talk about a glow-up for both of them. So you see why this is such a perfect match. It's like you have the world's best highway system, that's Nokia, suddenly teaming up with the company that makes the world's fastest, smartest cars, that's Nvidia. The future of networking is meeting the core of AI. It just makes sense.
But let's pull back for a second, because this Nokia deal isn't some random one-off investment. Nope, this is just one piece of a much bigger puzzle that Nvidia has been putting together. Look, Nvidia is sitting on top of the world right now. They are the center of the AI universe, and they know it. And they're using that power to build a whole ecosystem around their tech. They're not just content selling chips anymore. They're strategically investing in the key players who will define the future. And just look at the pace they're moving at. It's insane. In just the last couple of months, we're talking about a mind-boggling $100 billion for OpenAI, $5 billion for their old competitor Intel, and now $1 billion for the networking giant Nokia. This isn't just a strategy, it's an all-out blitz to shape the future. And it's not just about chips and networks either. They're spreading their bets all over the place. $500 million here for a self-driving car startup, another big chunk there for a cloud provider. They're basically weaving their technology into the very fabric of the future economy. Okay, so we've covered the players, the money, and the strategy. But now for the most important part. Why should you care? What does this all mean for the tech that you and I are going to be using every single day?
So, what's the big takeaway here? If you remember one thing from all this, what should it be? At the end of the day, it's all about one thing: connected AI. First, this whole deal is meant to hit the accelerator on 6G. And we're not just talking about your movies downloading faster. Think about it. 6G means the kind of instant, zero-lag communication you need for a whole city of self-driving cars to talk to each other, or for the metaverse to actually feel real. Second, they're embedding AI right into the network's DNA, making it smarter, faster, and more efficient on its own. And third, this is a power move for Nvidia. It solidifies their place, not just as the brain inside a server rack, but as a critical part of the entire global communication system.
And that leaves us with one last, kinda huge question to chew on. As Nvidia pushes its chips and its money into everything from data centers to communication networks to AI itself, you've got to ask, are we watching one single company lay the foundation for, well, for everything? For the entire future of technology? It's definitely something to think about.
You know, in the tech world, some deals are just different. They're more than just numbers on a page. They're earthquakes, totally shifting the entire landscape. And today, we're going to dig into one of those huge ones, the unexpected and honestly game-changing partnership between Nvidia and Nokia. It all kicked off with this number. On October 28, 2025, $1 billion sent a massive shockwave through the tech and telecom worlds. I mean, this wasn't just some run-of-the-mill investment. No, this was a statement. And boy, did the market react. Almost instantly, Nokia's stock just shot up by an incredible 22%. Investors were basically screaming that this was a massive vote of confidence, a sign that Nokia was about to get a serious upgrade. So you gotta ask, what's really going on? Because this is way more than just a big check changing hands. It's a strategic play to rewire the very foundation of our digital world. So let's get into it. All right, let's kick things off with the money. Section 1, this billion-dollar bet. What does a deal like this actually look like when you break it down? Okay, so here's the skinny. Nvidia is putting $1 billion into Nokia for about a 2.9% slice of the company. But this is the really key part, the how. Nokia issued new shares. That means the $1 billion went straight into Nokia's bank account. It's fresh capital, ready to go, specifically to fund this ambitious new partnership focused on 6G and AI. All right, Section 2. But look, the money is just the entry ticket. The real story here, it's all about the tech. This is where you see two giants from completely different worlds, telecom and cutting-edge AI, coming together. What this partnership is really doing is flipping the script on how networks actually work. See, traditional networks are reactive. They're kind of rigid, and when something goes wrong, a person has to jump in and fix it. But the future they're building is predictive. AI-native networks are designed from the ground up to be flexible, to automate themselves, and to be so smart they fix problems before we even know they exist. So you hear this term AI native, and you're probably like, what does that even mean? Well, think about it like this. You could build a car and then add a GPS system to it later. Or you could design the entire car from the very beginning around a self-driving AI. That's the difference. Here, AI isn't just an app you install, it's the engine. And honestly, that self-driving car analogy, it's just perfect. Just like a car's AI is constantly scanning the road to make decisions, these networks will use AI to manage data traffic on the fly. We're talking about a smarter, more autonomous, and way more efficient digital world for all of us. And all of this, all this tech and money, it's all building towards one massive goal. The grand prize, really, forging this 6G future. And this is where you see why this partnership makes so much sense. It's like a perfect puzzle. You've got Nokia with decades of experience building the actual hardware, the roads of the internet. And then you have Nvidia, bringing the super-powered brains, the world's best GPUs and AI to run the whole show. Together, they have every piece they need to build the 6G future from the ground up. So why should you even care about any of this? Well, think about tech that's just around the corner, like truly seamless augmented reality glasses. For those to work without making you dizzy, the network has to optimize video for your eyes in literally the blink of an eye. That takes a massive amount of AI power right where you are. And that is exactly what this partnership is designed to do. Okay, but let's zoom out for a second, because this deal, it's not just about 6G. For Nvidia, this is a power move in a much, much bigger game. The mission to become the undisputed king of the entire AI landscape. You have to see what Nvidia is doing here. It's this incredible three-step strategy. Step 1, dominate the hardware with their GPUs. Check. Step 2, build the software, CUDA, that everyone needs to use those chips. Check. And now, step 3, integrate all that tech directly into the world's core infrastructure. This Nokia deal, that's them getting inside the city walls. It's brilliant. It's a lot like how Amazon operates, right? They control the warehouses, the website, and the cloud computing that powers it all. Nvidia is doing the exact same thing for AI, creating this powerful, closed loop of chips, software, and now, the networks themselves. But, of course, a deal this big doesn't just happen quietly. This is where tech smashes right into geopolitics. You've got an American AI titan embedding its technology into the absolute core of Europe's communications networks. Yeah, that's the kind of thing that makes governments and regulators on both sides of the Atlantic sit up and pay very close attention. So the vision is huge, the money's there, but what happens next? Because the road ahead is definitely not going to be easy. It's filled with both incredible opportunities and some pretty major obstacles. For Nokia, this whole thing is a high-stakes balancing act. On the one side, you've got this huge cash infusion, a top-tier tech partner, and a massive confidence boost from the market. But on the other side of the coin, you have existing shareholders getting diluted, the big risk of becoming too dependent on Nvidia, and a minefield of potential regulatory problems. So, as this all unfolds, here are the big things we all need to be watching. First up, the regulators. Will the US and EU actually sign off on this, or will they add a bunch of conditions? Second, how fast can they get real products out the door? Talk is cheap. Third, will that stock market hype last? And finally, the big one. Will governments start raising national security flags? And that leaves us with the big billion-dollar question, doesn't it? Is this partnership going to build the future of how we all connect? Or will the messy world of geopolitics and national security stop it in its tracks? This is way more than a business deal. It's a real test case for where global innovation is headed.